You ever watch a video that's so good, like the editing is mwah, chef's kiss, the fancy zoom in and zoom outs, the transitions, the captions, and you click off 20 seconds later? Yeah, that's what's happening to a lot of creators right now. We have hit the point where people are literally editing the life out of their message. Everybody's chasing retention hacks. Everybody's cutting every 2 seconds with jump cuts and explosion sounds and emojis and all these bells and whistles and B-rolls of people typing on their laptops like that's supposed to make you money, when the truth is, editing less on your videos will probably make you more money. And I know a little bit about this because I made over 7 figures online in my business with just one digital product doing a little over 900K. Because when your videos start feeling like a trailer instead of a transformation, people don't buy from you, they scroll right past you. So in this video, I'm gonna break down why most creators are over editing themselves out of sales, how to simplify your content to boost trust and conversions, and the new editing style that is blowing businesses up on YouTube right now. And the best part, it's less work, it's easier to outsource, and it actually builds your authority instead of killing it. Let's start with the old way of editing, and most creators are still doing this. They're using stock footage every 5 seconds, all these crazy sound effects like, why do you have to have a and a just to get your message to come across? Zoom ins every time that they say a keyword. All these animated text words just flashing across the screen. And those punch in, punch out jump cuts that make the video look like it's having a seizure, just like how every time Mr. Crocker says, fairy godparents. And it worked for a while because it was new. But here's the thing. When everyone starts editing like that, it stops being engaging and it starts being annoying. And it's only gonna take me about 5 minutes to break this down. So if you don't have 5 minutes to spare, then you're just probably never stand out on the internet and you'll just blend in with everyone else and you'll just be out here being annoying, begging for somebody to watch your stuff. And people will just avoid you just like they avoid the annoying guy that always says, oh, where my hug? Oh, where my hug? But I don't get no hug. And you don't want to be out here on the internet like the where's my hug guy. But just think about it. You can't build trust when your audience feels like they're being shouted at. And the irony in all this is that most creators are adding all that fluff because they don't believe in their message. They're overcompensating for weak substance with heavy style. So instead of focusing on the words that actually move people, they're focused on the B-roll that makes them look busy. And here's what that does to your business. You attract people that want to watch, not buy. Overly edited videos attract people with short attention spans, and I call them the mushy brain dummy people. Look, with all the TikTokification of social media and all this short form content, there have literally been studies that show that human beings have the attention span of a goldfish right now. I think even less than a goldfish right now. All this short form, highly edited retention, all this stuff, have a crazy edit every 2 to 3 seconds is frying people's mind. And I don't know about you, but I don't want no dummies watching my stuff. I'm pretty sure you ain't no dummy. And that's why people feel like they have to do all those crazy edits, because they think that their words can't keep the attention of somebody because they spend no time, energy, or effort in actually crafting their message. They spend no time, energy, or effort in becoming an effective communicator. So they think all the bells and whistles are gonna make their videos better, but they don't. Your words do. Simple, clear videos attract long-term buyers. So if you're selling digital products, coaching, courses, communities, your biggest competitive advantage isn't flashy editing, it's clarity. When people clearly understand what you're saying, they start trusting what you're saying, and trust is what makes people pull out their credit cards and buy, because people buy things from people that they know, like, and trust. So look, here's the shift. You don't need to look viral, you need to look valuable. So let me show you the new way, my friend, and it's not about more cuts, it's about more clarity. And I'm gonna show you the exact system that I use for this. And this system, it works supercalifragilisticexpialidociously well for contentpreneurs, and those are entrepreneurs that use content to drive traffic to their business. You don't want to be no content creator. So look, we were 5 steps from eternity. We were, sorry, but there are 5 steps to this new editing style that's blowing businesses up right now on YouTube. And every time the word 5 steps come out of my mouth, The Dru Hill song is stuck in my head and I feel like I have to sing it all the time. I don't know how much longer we're gonna be here, so I say my prayers every night. All right, you're not here for an R&B jam session, so let me give you these steps. So the first step is that you have to clean your A roll, right? So I'm gonna just put clean A right here. Clean your A roll, and your A roll is basically just your main footage. So what you're looking at right now is my A roll. Cut out all the fluff, all the uhs, the ums, the filler words that don't add anything to the video. Not because people have no attention span, but they have no patience for wasted time. The only way that you want to leave those things in is if it actually does add something to your video, right? So if a dramatic pause actually adds to the message of your video, keep it there. Or if you want to see people knowing that you're putting some real thought into your words in real time, just keep it there. Or if you have a anti-edit, no edit at all strategy, just keep them there. But outside of that, if it doesn't add to the video, in the great words of the great Uncle Joey, cut it out. Now, step 2 is to get to the point. Look, every second, every minute longer that you just make your video just to have a long video for long video's sake, you're losing money. And there's a lot of creators on YouTube that are doing this because they're thinking like content creators instead of contentpreneurs. And like I said, you do not want to be a content creator because you'll just be out here doing a whole bunch of goofy looking stuff on the internet, trying to get as many views as possible. To whereas if you're a contentpreneur and you're using content to drive traffic to your business, you realize that you don't need to get the most views. You don't need to get all of the views. You just need to get the right views. And with a micro niche channel and smaller views of the right views, you can make more money than the people getting all those views. But on YouTube, you have something called mid-roll ads, right? So in advertising, you have pre-roll, mid-roll, and end-roll ads, right? So pre-roll ads are those ads that you see on YouTube that pop up before the video even starts, right? Mid-roll ads are all those ads that pop up all in the middle of the videos. And then the in-post ads are the ads that post up at the end of a video, right? Well, on YouTube, your video has to be at least 8 minutes long in order to get these mid-roll ads popped in. So all these content creators that don't have a business mind and they don't have any offer to drive their traffic from their videos too, they're just thinking to make their videos at least 8 minutes so they can add mid-roll ads to the videos, because that's the only way that they're trying to make money, just by the AdSense that YouTube pays them off of the views. So instead of adding true value to somebody, they're just stretching out their videos, trying to make them at least 8 minutes. But if a line doesn't truly help your audience and add value to them or help them make a decision, cut it. There's no minimum or maximum length that your YouTube videos need to be. This is what I tell members in my community. Links in the description if you want to join. But I tell them that your video needs to be as long or as short as it needs to be to get the message across. But you don't want to be out here making videos 10 minutes just for 10 minutes sake, just so you can get some mid-roll ads. If a video is 5 minutes, that video has to be 5 minutes. If a video needs to be 52 minutes, make that video 52 minutes, but make your video as long as it needs to be for your message to get across to the person that you are serving, to the person that you are helping. And even outside of content, this is just something that you need to be aware of, just in all aspects of entertainment and educational spaces, right? So I told you about these mid-roll ads, but if I grab, like, I just have these 2 books on my desk behind me, 2 pretty thick books right here. But the same thing goes in the author and the publishing game. That's one reason why I say that reading is a waste of time, because most books could actually be, 20 to 50 pages, but the publisher won't publish those books unless they have a certain word count. So that's why certain books just become repetitive and they say the same thing 50, 11 times over. They just look to find different ways to say the same thing because they have to make it a certain length in order to get published. Well, that's how a lot of creators are treating YouTube videos. Now, the third step is to use text with intention. All right? Use text with intention. You don't need motion graphics that look like a Marvel trailer. Use simple, consistent text styles that highlight your main points so people can read your value as they hear it. So, for example, let's say that this is you on YouTube, right? This is a YouTube video and this is you, and you have a point that you really want to be emphasized. Well, you can just have a few words over here to the side of the screen, or even outside of that, you can take yourself off and just have those few words pop up on the screen. But it doesn't have to be anything fancy. But this shows that you're highlighting a point, and it also shows the viewer that this is something that you're emphasizing. And if you're going to use any text on screen, I highly suggest using the same text over and over and over and over again. It's about consistency, and consistency builds brands. Now, the fourth step is to stop jump cutting like you're allergic to silence. You don't need to cut every single time you breathe. Like, take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. You are a human. It is okay to breathe on camera. That hyper edit style, it looks desperate. So look, let the camera breathe. It is okay. Now, I'm not saying to not use jump cuts, but use them strategically. But not every single time you take a little bitty piece of air. It's not necessary. And it'll really help cut down in your editing time, whether you're doing the edits yourself or you're outsourcing them. And even if you outsource your edits, if you follow what I'm telling you in this video, you'll get your edits back from your editor way faster also, because it'll be less stuff that they have to work on. But let the camera breathe, let your message land. And the fifth thing is to show, right? Not spam. Show, not spam. When you show visuals, make sure that they have a purpose, and that purpose should be to help your viewer understand. Don't just have them there just to decorate your video. If you're explaining a problem, visualize it simply. So me, for example, I use a whiteboard, but you could use an object or your hands or a graph or that animation or that picture or that video clip that you wanted to use as B-roll, but it has to make sense. It only should be used if it's helping you explain something or if it's helping you tell your story. Keep the audience focused on what you're saying, not what's flying across the screen. And this type of content is easier to make, it's easier to edit, and it's easier to outsource. And most importantly, it keeps the focus exactly where it needs to be, and that's on your message. Now, here's where most creators miss the point. They think simple means lazier, when actually simple scales and fancy fails. It's all that fancy stuff in content creation and in business that is very difficult to scale. And when people try to do all that fancy stuff, they typically do fail. It's the simple stuff that's strong. It's the simple stuff that has a solid foundation. It's the simple stuff that can grow evergreen over time for a long time. It's the simple stuff that you can scale with systems and processes. When you're not buried in editing layers, feedback rounds, endless revisions, then you can create content faster and more consistently. And consistency compounds faster than perfection ever will. I call this the systems thinking. And system stands for saving yourself time, energy, and money. All right. It's always easier to scale a simple system. Simple editing saves time. You publish faster. It saves energy. You don't burn out doing tiny tweaks. It saves money because you can hire editors for cheaper because the system is easy to follow. And here's what that gives you: a repeatable process that you can build a team around if you choose to, or a system that you could work yourself as a solopreneur. Because that's how all of your favorite creators, especially in any educational niche, are doing right now. They're pumping out content non-stop without losing their edge. They found a repeatable editing system and stuck to it. They're not trying to look cool, they're trying to communicate early. And even probably your favorite educator, maybe a couple years ago, they used to have some of that fancy stuff. But have you not noticed that they're scaling a lot of that fancy stuff down? because they realize that the value that they have is in their words. So just real quick, let me give you a system that you can apply this new editing wave that is blowing up businesses, right? So let's say on YouTube, right? You make this simple content only for your avatar, right? You keep everything in mind for your avatar. And most creators out here, they're failing because they're trying to make content for everybody. When you try to make content for everybody, you can't get in front of anybody, right? So once you only make this content for your avatar, YouTube's algorithm will start to categorize your content. Like, all that YouTube is basically a big platform that has a pool of videos on this side and a pool of people on this side. And all that they want to do is match those people over here to the videos that they want to watch. But if you're not making your video for a specific person, then YouTube doesn't know where to categorize you. Therefore, it's hard for people to get put in front of anybody because YouTube doesn't know who to put your stuff in front of, right? And then YouTube starts to use its organic traffic sources, which will be the home page, the search bar, the suggested page, and then external traffic from Google, because Google owns YouTube, right? Google's the biggest search engine. YouTube is the second biggest search engine, which will then get you in front of more people that fit your avatar's profile. So then when you have your offer or your digital product, this here is when you get the money, right? And then people will get their transformation, because that's one thing that a lot of people are not even thinking about, this transformation here. They're thinking about, what offer can I make? What digital product can I create versus what solution can I deliver to somebody? Because that's the only thing that people are buying online is informational, digital transformational products, right? So then once that person gets their transformation, they become an evangelist for you. An evangelist is basically just an ambassador, right? It's human nature. When we receive or get good products or good services, we by nature run and tell other people, right? And then you will be able to use that evangelism effect as testimonials and whatnot. And then you could also market it to other people. And then outside of that, other people will be marketing you as well. That'll lead to more people that'll buy your offer. This is how you can have a flywheel effect, or build you a system to whereas, if you're not familiar with the flywheel, it may initially take some energy and effort to get going, but once that bad sucker gets spinning, it spins faster and faster and faster, and your business will grow faster and faster and faster, and it will grow bigger and bigger and bigger as it compounds on itself. But you got to be able to zoom out and see what this really is. What is the point of all this stuff? It's not just to be a content creator and be out here making videos. Like, yes, I do enjoy making videos. I do enjoy adding value to you. But what is the purpose of this, right? You can't get caught up in all this content creation world and this whole content creation space and not be able to zoom out and see it for what it is, which is building a system for yourself and locking in on these 5 steps right here and having valuable videos with minimal edits that truly add value to real people. If you're creating content to grow a business, your goal isn't to get people to say, wow, what a great video. Your goal is to get people to say, wow, I need that. That means you're not editing for entertainment. You're editing for emotion, credibility, and clarity. That's it. And that's the biggest shift that's happening on YouTube right now. The creators that win, they won't be doing it with the most cinematic, great edits. Like, even just think about yourself and whose content that you consume, especially for educational purposes. Are they making the greatest, highly produced, super duper edited videos? Or are they simple edits? I mean, you're watching this video right now of a guy wearing a smiley face shirt with a middle finger with a smiley face on the nail right there. It's the details. It's the details. Sitting here scribbling on a whiteboard, right? My stuff isn't the most highly edited, but they're highly valuable. And all the content creators obsessed with cinematic editing aren't going to be the ones that win. It's going to be the contentpreneurs that are obsessed with communicating through simplicity. Just think about it. If your audience can actually follow you, then they can believe you. If they can believe you, then they can trust you. If they can trust you, then they can buy from you. And that's how you turn content into cash and start getting numbers coming in online in your business, just like all them that you see on the screen right now. And if you're ready to make more working less online from stuff that you already know, go ahead and click the link down in the description and join this Credited at the Top community. For personal coaching from myself, all my exclusive trainings, plus a private community and entrepreneurs, all designed to grow your business online. It's only a few bucks a day to join right now, literally less than a cup of coffee per day. So go ahead and click the link down in the description to tap in, and I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. But here's a new formula for content creation. It's clarity times consistency equals conversion. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Keep this stuff simple. Remember, it's the simple stuff that scales. It's all the fancy stuff that fails. If your editing does not support this equation, then it's just noise. So yeah, editing less can make you more money. Because when you stop editing to impress and start editing to express, you build authority, not anxiety. Woo, that was a bar right there. But for real, you start to build connection, not confusion. And when people feel connected to you, not only do they buy from you, but they trust you and they keep coming back. So go ahead and click the link down in the description if you want to tap into the community. And I'll see you on our coaching call this Wednesday. Go ahead and check out this video right here for a step-by-step process to build a complete system to make your first 7 figures online. It's Credited at the Top.